I want to talk about today a message on fellowship based on Proverbs 17:17. A message on fellowship that says, "A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity." Let me start with a question. Think about your phone right now. If you scrolled through your contacts, how many of those names would actually show up if you were in trouble at 2 a.m.? We have grown to measure love by the amount of likes we get. But it's not the ones who likes your posts. I mean the ones who would actually pick up the phone at 2 a.m. and actually come when you need them. For most of us, that list is short, and you're extremely lucky if it's long. And that's exactly what Proverbs 17:17 is talking about. It says, "A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity." Notice it doesn't say a friend loves when it's convenient. It doesn't say a friend loves when you're doing well and when it's convenient for them. It says at all times. That's a high bar. That's a bar most of us don't even hold ourselves to, let alone expect from others. Let's be honest. We live in a seasoned friend culture. Now, what do I mean by this? We have gym friends, work friends, school friends, friends for a specific chapter of our life. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the Bible is describing something different. It's describing a friendship that survives the changes of the chapters. Not one where we talk bad behind someone and gossip behind their back. One that isn't tied to what you can offer someone, but to who you are. Think about David and Jonathan. Jonathan was the king's son. By every earthly logic, David was a threat to his future. Jonathan was literally about to take his father's throne. Jonathan had every reason not to associate with or support David, much less when David was competition to the throne. Instead, scripture says his soul was knit to David's, and he loved him as his own soul, and multiple times risked his own safety to save David. That's not convenient love. That's covenant love. That's a brother born for adversity. You don't become a real friend the moment that trouble hits. You find out whether you were one all along. When the diagnosis comes back bad, when the marriage is struggling, when you lose that job, when the depression hits and you can't even explain what's wrong. That's not when friendship is built. That's when it's tested. And a lot of relationships fail that test. Not because people are evil, but because they were never built for it in the first place. They were built for the sunshine, not the storm. And you don't have to look far to see it. Think of the friend who sits with you in the hospital waiting room at 3 a.m, saying nothing, just present, just for you. Or the one who turns up on your doorstep with a meal when something is wrong. That's not friendship measured in group chats, birthday reminders, or likes. That's a friend that loves at all times, right in the middle of an ordinary week. Even in the world of sport, you see flashes of this. You watch how footballers celebrate a goal, sprinting to a teammate and not the crowd. I think of Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the most decorated athletes on the planet. And yet, in interviews, he's talked about how the people around him, before the fame, the ones who knew him before Manchester United or Real Madrid, before any of it, these are the relationships he protects the most. Not because they can do anything for him now, but because he doesn't need anything from them. Because they were there before his adversity, through his adversity, and they're still there for him right now. Furthermore, a story not well known before the fame. He was just a boy from Madeira, sent to Lisbon to join Sporting's academy to play football. He was homesick. Kids mocked his accent. Most nights, he cried himself to sleep, missing his mother. In that season of adversity, God gave him a friend, his roommate, Jochu who helped him get through this tough time. After 2 years together, the club planned to cancel Sameiro's place in the residence. He'd have to leave, and likely drift back to the rough streets that he was from. Ronaldo went straight to the director and threatened to leave if he didn't let the friend stay. They listened, Sameiro stayed, and later became a professional football player himself. "He changed my life," Jose Sameiro said on Ronaldo. No trophy, no headline. Just a friend using what he had, the moment that it mattered. That's a small human picture of something God designed for us on a much bigger level. Because here's the truth. God never intended us for be two alone, to live our life alone. From the very beginning, in Genesis, before the sin or the fall, before anything went wrong, God said it is not good for man to be alone. Even in paradise, isolation was never the plan. Fellowship was the plan. Community was the plan. That's why the church isn't just a building we walk into on Sunday and walk out of an hour later. It's supposed to be family. It's supposed to be the place where, when life hits adversity, there are actual arms to fall into. Church, I believe one of the reasons so many people are struggling silently, battling anxiety, marriages falling apart quietly, according to many statistics in this new generation, is not because faith is wavering. It's not because God isn't real to them. It's because they don't have anyone who loves them at all times. They have an audience, but no true family. They have followers, but no genuine friend. And I want to flip this around, because it's easy to sit here, think about this, see if people do this to you, but who are we to judge? The real questions Proverbs is asking you is that, are you that friend? Are you the one that shows up during the adversity? Or are you only there during the celebration? Are you the brother or sister that was born for adversity, for someone else's hard season? Because that's what real fellowship is. It's not just showing up to the party. It's showing up to that hospital room when it's not convenient. It's the phone call in the middle of the night. It's choosing loyalty when walking away is easier. A friend who loves at all times. A brother or sister born for adversity. That's exactly the kind of love Christ showed us, just as his commandment said, love your neighbor as yourself. He didn't love us only when we had it together. He loved us in our mess, when we sinned. He walked toward our adversity and never left. That's the standard. A high standard, but the standard nonetheless. That's the calling. That's fellowship. Let's be there for each other. Thank you.